Welcome to Vibrant Living Conversations. I'm your host, Gemma Putty. I'm so excited to be bringing more conversations from North Idaho and across this region to support us all in glowing from the inside out by connecting more deeply to ourselves, our earth, and our communities. For today's interview, I am talking with Colene, the founder of Running Shoes for Kids. I'm thrilled to have her here today and in her 10th year of the organization to talk about her mission and passion for just doing exactly that, providing running shoes for children, because athletics are just one way to learn some of the lessons that are key to living a happy, healthy, and meaningful life. So welcome, Colene. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's such an honor. I feel very humble. Thank you.
Yeah, my absolute pleasure. I love this because we both have a cross-country background, running passion too. So this, even as we were emailing back and forth, I'm like, it's just fun to find someone that shares that passion with you too. So yeah, let's just get into how you started Running Shoes for Kids back 10 years ago.
Well, honestly, it just kind of was something beautiful that just happened. There's a little backstory before starting it. I used to volunteer with my kiddos cross country and my kids when they were in junior high. And I remember asking the coach, why are these kids in bigger schools so much more advanced? And she said, well, because they start younger at elementary ages. They start running younger and they have cross country. And I said, well, we need to get one of those. And she goes, you should start one. And so back in, I don't even know, 2008 or something, we started the cross country program at Alpha Elementary. We just got some volunteer parents together and started the program. And I called the other schools and said, we're going to do this and let's have a race. And we started out at 40 kiddos, and then it grew to over 100. And it was pretty awesome because it's just so fun to be with these kids and seeing these kids go from either thinking they can run really far and running farther, or kids that don't think they're very good runners and actually are really good runners. And then maybe even the kids that aren't runners that are kind of over heavy or kind of overweight or something, realize that they can do it. And they start feeling better about themselves and feeling stronger, and watching that energy and watching that was amazing. And a lot of kids sometimes would show up with no running shoes. They'd come up in cowboy boots or Converse shoes or flats or whatever. And, I get it. Kids forget their running shoes or their tennis shoes. And so I'd remind them, and then the next week they wouldn't have them again. And, and I'd remind them, and we'd set some games about how to remember, and they wouldn't bring them again. And a couple of times I would say, have your shoes, give them some energy about that. And they looked down and they said they didn't have any running shoes. They didn't have tennis shoes. And that's when it really hit me, And then of course you saw some of the shoes kids were running in, and you saw the difference in their level of self-confidence, and it affected them. And the program just kept growing and growing and growing, and the school grew into making it a staff thing. And then Running Shoes for Kids came about because I realized so many kids needed running shoes. And I also realized there was no events for kiddos to run. I mean, sure, there's, 5Ks, there's the Ironman run for kids, there's marathons, but not a lot of kid stuff. And so we decided at that time that we'd start a race to raise money for kids that needed those running shoes. And during that time when I was coaching, I was even getting sponsors and things. And we started immediately buying shoes for kiddos that needed them before we were ever even running shoes for kids. And then it just grew, and through amazing help through parents and through friends and ideas, it just grew and grew and grew. And it was started going from where people would bring shoes for an entrance to for the race. And, trying to get ideas of people like, hey, can you make hamburgers or hot dogs at the race? And then it was like, well, we should have vendors. And now we have vendors. And it just is amazing how much that has grown. But the thing that was most important to me was during this time of 2012, we had a tragic event happen in our family. We lost our daughter, our 17-year-old daughter, to suicide. And this was a young lady that was beautiful, that had amazing friends, and always had a smile on her face. And that's when it dawned on me that these kids behind the scenes, there was more stuff going on than we know. And these kids needed an outlet to feel empowered, to feel that they are valued and they're important. And that's what I saw during cross country. And that's what I saw during our first few races, is that network, that team camaraderie, where these people came together, the parents came together, the community comes together. These kids are realizing that it's not just mom and dad that love me. It's people, and I'm a good person, and I can do hard things. And it's just grown and grown and grown from there. I probably jumped ahead, but what I noticed during that time is when we were giving out shoes, we'd be giving out like shoe drives and things. Or when kids needed the shoes, you know, they would be embarrassed. They felt embarrassed that they were poor and they needed shoes. Or when we were at shoe drives, you'd see kids with brand new shoes on their feet and wanted another pair of brand new shoes. And so then it was like an entitlement kind of a thing. And I realized that that is not what we wanted. We did not want that either, you know? And so that's where our mission of Go Good came in, is to empower kids, that they're good, they do good things, and we want to award them for those good things. And it's been pretty awesome journey, see where we've started and all of the great kids we've helped, even families, parents, individuals that have had some hard times, college students that are just struggling. So it's been super fun.
I love that. Amazing. Well, and I can't imagine how many children, families that you've touched over, 10 years. That's such a long period of time. Do you have specific, you don't have to name names, of course, but like a specific example or story that really touched you? Obviously, your daughter was a huge one. And is there another story where you're like, they got the shoes and I don't know, just someone that's like stuck in your mind?
So I would say, I think it's one of the very first stories. My son, Sam, he was helping me coach cross country, and he noticed a couple kiddos of the same family that were just amazing kids, and their shoes weren't the greatest. And I knew their mom, and she was just working full time, working so super hard. And her son was in the hospital. He had some brain surgery, and it was very, just stuff was happening to this family. And you could tell that it was just hard on them. And, but they kept coming out and they kept participating and they kept stepping up. And I valued that they just kept stepping up, even though life was really hard for them. Right. And so my son pointed them out, and we gave this little boy a new pair of shoes before one of the events that we did. And I'll tell you, that smile on that young boy's face, I'm pretty sure he stood taller. And I think he stood a little taller. He stood up all proud, and he was just like, now I'm going to run really fast. And his mom, you know, she was just so grateful that was a blessing for her, you know, and took something off her plate. Yeah. That was pretty special too. Right. That was probably one of my favorites, just because it was just like the first action where it just really was like on, rather than just grabbing shoes and here, have a pair of shoes, you know, here, I got a pair of shoes for you. Because that's kind of where we were doing it. We were just collecting shoes, and here, I got a pair of shoes. What size are you? Oh, these will fit you, you know? And then it just the more on purpose. And that was really, really special, super fun, and still dear friends with that family. I just love them so much. And hopefully they'll be at our event again this year. So
I love that. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think, like running, because at some point in our culture becomes, what's the word? Like if you're in trouble, right? Go run 3 miles or go run some sprints, or like, and so often in so many sports, it's like the punishment. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I think at this young age that you're able to get them, I love running, so I'm not going to say that, but at the young age where you can just, it's a sense of freedom. My 2-year-old, I see him like running in circles and running around, and he's just loves it. He might as well have wings, right? So bringing that ability for a child that might be in a tough situation in family or personally, just a way to express, to release emotion they don't even know they're holding in, to just let go of things, and then at the same time being able to bring that sense of like health and purpose and connection, like you're saying, this community of you get to do it and be strong, but we are here and we're supporting you and we're holding you up. And I just love it. Like I have chills this whole time.
So for sure. It's so true. And that was funny because when you said that, I always thought that too, because you would either get the punishment thing, you know, we used to have t-shirts made in cross country that said, our sport is your punishment.
Exactly. You know? Yes. I had the same t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. And I always thought that was really funny. And I thought, well, no wonder these kids probably think it's a punishment. Who could run a 5K and actually enjoy it when you're little? That's hard.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
So if we start small, that's why we do small races. We do the quarter mile, you know, and a half a mile and a mile. And then we do our 5K, of course. But it's fun to see these little kids finish, right? And feel good about it. And I know as a youth, I also, that's why I ran, the release, the emotion, the strength, the endorphins natural endorphins you get from it. It does find a sense of peace there. And it's something that it's just, all you need is a good pair of shoes. You know, you don't need another teammate to play soccer or to basketball or football. It's just go grab your shoes and you're good to go.
Oh, I completely. Yeah. I think that's why I've loved it so much is it doesn't require anything. I can hit the ground. Like I got to go for a run. I'll see you guys in an hour or 10 minutes, whatever the day brings. Right. But especially for the kids, the process of being able to be like, of course we're not going to run a 5K on day one. It's like step by step and it's a process and it's keeping enjoyment along the way and meaning and connection. Not so much. I feel like in our culture, it's like, to achieve and to get A's and to be the best. But like that process that you're teaching them of it's one step in front of the other and mindset, like believe you can do it and giving them the confidence through I can't even imagine running in cowboy shoes. Like, first of all, just not comfortable, right? Like heavy, like warm pricks on your feet, but just giving them the tools and the encouragement to go through that process. And it's just such a reflection on life. So many things in life that aren't always easy. And sometimes you don't want to show up for it and you want to like crawl under the pillows and like go back to bed, but you're like, just take another step forward and then meet your friends at the finish line and we can celebrate together.
Yes, that is so true. We, one of my favorite coaches, their slogan used to be every step is a running step. And I always thought that's kind of what also like, you know, that's like life, you know, every step is a moving forward step. Every step is taking your next best step. And it's hard, you know, and sometimes it's easy and sometimes we're celebrating and we're all at our own pace. And I love that. There's no one, you know, sure, you always have our first place runner, but that second, third and fourth and fifth, they're first place in my eyes too, because they finished, they did it and they did it on their own.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes you fall down, but you get back up or you help your friend back up and you keep on moving forward, right? Yeah. Like totally life right there, you know?
Last year or the year before that, one of our events, we have teams that come and run now. And there was this one team from, I think it was the Coeur d'Alene soccer JV team or varsity team, or they were amazing kids. All I know is they just had the energy in their life. It just spewed from them. They just had such positive amazingness vibe. It was so beautiful. Anyways, one of their teammates sprained their ankle on the event during the race. And so the other teammate picked him up and we have a picture of it. I think it's on our website of him on his carrying him piggyback through the finish line. And I just loved that. That was definitely one of my most favorite moments too. Just how wonderful was that to see that happen?
No, for sure. The teamwork of it, it's not about being first and it's just the support and the journey. Another fun story about that is we had a race back when we used to be at Hayden Canyon. My son, Jacob, I think he was a freshman or a sophomore at the time. He was our sweeper and we had our first Downs special needs child that ran and it was so awesome. And she got tired and she was giving up and he took her hand
and they came running into the finish line together. And still that story, that always tears me up, because that's all what's all about. You know, sometimes we just need a piggyback ride. We just need someone to take our hand and say, you got this, sister. Come on, let's finish it. You know, and to see her mom, you know, and just see that joy come from her, that her daughter got to do that special thing and achieve that hard thing and accomplished it. How great is that? That's just what it's all about to me. So special.
I love it. Yeah. So you started, how many people did you have at your first event?
Oh gosh, I was going to bring the numbers out.
No worries.
It's like, I don't know, like 30. We had like 30 people.
Okay. And then how many did you have?
Event, the second event, actually, anyways, it was small, and then it just exploded. So, our last year we had probably about 125, 150 runners and about 350, 400 spectators gathered. It was pretty amazing. And the year before that was the COVID year, and our race used to be in June. It was originally called our Run to Summer. So we had it right after summer, when summer started, June 21st.
Right.
And when COVID happened, that whole month was insane. So we just didn't know what to do. So we decided that we would move our race back, and it ended up to be in the end of July, which honestly works better for me. And we had our team, we had people that were there, and we voted, and everyone voted, yeah, July was better. And so we kept it since. But what was really interesting is the July run was the first year in Spirit Lake, Idaho. And it was 3 days prior to the mask mandate. And the mask mandate came in, and everybody was, you know, calling and texting and, hey, are you canceling your event? And I'm like, no, I'm not canceling my event. These kids need an outlet.
Yes.
You know, these parents need an outlet. You know, we'll be outside. We'll do all the precautions that we need to do, but it's going to be fantastic. And I was kind of nervous, to be honest. I thought, you know, who's going to show, you know, and it didn't matter. As long as we were there open and available for the kids, we were showing up. And I'm pretty sure we had 129 people register that day.
Nice. That day. Wow.
That day online. It was crazy.
I love that.
It was so fun.
And that brings out, I mean, being on lockdown and in COVID for the last couple of years, I feel like, I mean, last year was more open, but this year I feel like even more so, that like need to be outside, that ability to express like freedom and just being healthy and loving like life. It's just like, it's got a renewed sense about it. This year, I just think people are more excited to go to farmers markets and be like, freedom. I'm not wearing a mask. Yes. Right?
Yes, absolutely. How wonderful that is. Right? I think it was, for sure.
Because your event this year is July 23rd. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Will you talk a little bit about that? What people can expect?
Yes. This is so exciting. This will be obviously our 10th anniversary. And I was really hoping to have something special, but this one is far exceeded my hopes and dreams. It's really turning out amazing. Last year we had an amazing mom that I become good friends with. And she said, Colene, you should get a band at this. We need a band. And I said, do you want to do it? And she says, okay. And it's amazing. She's got 4 bands lined up, live bands, and they start at noon. And I just kind of jumped there because who doesn't love concert in the park, right?
Right. Totally.
You know, some people might not love running, but a lot of people love music. So that's super fun. And I love the energy there, because I always felt like after our event, it was sad to see it was over. It was just like, oh, that was so fun, you know, and now it's just over. And now we get to have the fun and then linger into this fun stuff. So kind of going back to our event, it's going to be at Spirit Lake in Volunteer Park.
Okay, nice.
And that's the baseball fields there. Okay. And it's off of 10th Street in Jefferson. Nice. And it's super easy to find. Just go down 10th all the way until you find us. We're right past the cemetery. Awesome. And it's going to be great. So we're going to do gates open at 9:00.
Okay.
The running starts, we're going to have a national anthem at 10.
Nice.
And then we'll start our first running event. And this year will be our first year where we do the 5K first. We always do it last because the little kids, we want to get them excited and get them going and get them motivated. But by majority rule, everybody voted the 5K first because it gets so hot.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
we're going to do the 5K first, and we're super excited about that. We've got some fun water tables that are going to be set up where we're going to have a kid zone set up where kids can spray the runners as they run by, and we'll have some sprinklers going, and that'll be really super fun. We'll be sure to turn them on and off so people don't fall, because a couple people fell last year, so we're going to make sure that's tight. But that's really fun. They love that. They could run through the sprinklers. Our trails are super great. They go through the baseball field and the soccer field, so lots of people can cheer them on. We make a couple laps, but we also go out of the park, down some hills and down some fun trails out in the woods. So it really gets that really fun, that energy that you just need to find your zen and your space and finish your race. And it's super fun. And then we'll do our quarter mile.
Okay.
And let me back up. In between those events, each event and each runner gets a little raffle ticket. It's a free raffle ticket. And you can also purchase more raffle tickets if you want, but you can put the raffle tickets in the shoe of your choice. And then in between each event, we raffle off shoes, you know?
Okay. Nice.
So that's super fun. That's super fun. So many people go home with shoes. So we're going to give away at least 50 pair. Last year, we gave away 75 pairs of shoes.
Nice.
And so lots of people went home with shoes. So that's a blast. And that the kids
How do you get your shoes? How are they donated?
That's a good question. We get a lot of our shoes from Feet Fleet. They a lot of their shoes, we get a lot from them. It's amazing. Garth is amazing there at Feet Fleet. We just adore him.
And they're on Sherman, right?
They're on Sherman.
Yeah, that's
a lot of their shoes that are returned. There's usually nothing wrong with them. They're just returned. They didn't fit right for the client, so Feet Fleet honors them and gets them a new pair of shoes, and so they give us those. Wow. And so that's pretty fantastic. We also get money through sponsors, and then we buy our shoes from great companies like Big Five and the shoe store there in the mall, and Fred Meyer's, and Big Five is our favorite. They just really work well with us. We love them so much. They're great.
So is it registration fees that go towards that?
Yes, all of the money that we raise at the race goes to buying shoes. Thanks for clarifying that. Yep. All of that money goes back to running shoes for kids. Yep.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So we do the 5K, give out some shoes, and then we'll do the quarter mile. Okay. And that's my favorite race, hands down. The ages, anyone can run any race. Okay. But what we do is we award prizes based on age per event. Okay. So obviously, our quarter mile, that's ages 3 to 6 that receives awards from. And that's my favorite. I love these little kids coming in. And as they come in, we put medals on their neck. We're giving medals to first, second, and third place this year, and then ribbons to the top 6. And Super One has always been gracious enough to offer free ice cream coupons. So we give little ice cream coupons to all the runners that come in. So that's super fun because it's hard, and it feels good to get something, So
especially ice cream for a 3-year-old. Right? I know my son loves ice cream.
Yeah. So, and parents love it. They love it.
Yeah. Right.
Your coupon. Right. So that's super fun. And then we'll do our half a mile, and that's a fun race too. And that's any age can run that race, but that's awarded to ages 7 to 10. Okay. And then we're going to take a little break there and have the Timberlake Junior Cheer team do a little skit for us. And again, we'll be giving shoes out in between the races. And then we finish up with our mile. And that is a super fun race. That's around the course as well, but it also goes out. So you get some trail running in. And same story, that goes from ages 11 to 14. And for awards, but any age can run any race. And we actually encourage all the great, amazing runners, or that just want to have fun and support. We do what's called our Quad Crown. So that's where you run all 4 events.
Fun. Love it. Nice.
And that's really, really fun. So we're really excited about that. A couple of my kids, Andrew and Lily, they ran the Quad Crown last year, and their dad. And it was amazing to see that. So fun. So fun. Yeah. This year, we've got a prize for all the Quad Crown winners. And I'm super excited. We had an amazing volunteer make these amazing, I can't tell you, it's a secret. Just they're amazing. They have a little Quad Crown on them. It's so fun. Nice. So quarter mile,
so it starts at 9. I mean, it sounds like at least a full day almost, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's going to be a full day. So at 9, the gates open and the vendors will be ready to go at 9 o'clock. And we have about 30 vendors so far that have signed up. So super excited about that.
Yeah.
Got Taco Works coming and some yummy ice cream and a Greek truck and lots of fun crafts. And oh my goodness, so many great things. A massage chair. Yeah. Nice. Just awesome stuff. Super fun stuff. So that the running starts at 10 and we usually finish up about a 1 when running finishes up. And the band's going to start at noon. And we're going to open up our kid zone at noon and run the kid zone from noon to 6. And we're going to have a dunk tank there and lots of really fun. We're going to have an obstacle course and we're talking about having Nerf gun area and with some target areas for them to shoot Nerf guns. And we're going to have a water table for people to shoot water at the runners as they go by. We're super excited about our Go Good table this year. We're going to have a Go Good table and that's going to be open the whole entire event. We're going to have it where we have some paper and some color crayons and markers and things like that. And people can come, kids and grownups can draw a picture and write a little paragraph or a couple sentences on how they go good. We're also going to have a spot available for videos so they can make a little video on how they go good. So we can post that on our Facebook. We really are excited about that, wanting to really empower kids to go good. And so that's going to be super fun.
Will you talk about the background of Go Good? Because I think you and I talked about it before I started hitting record.
Yeah, for sure.
So just so everyone knows how good Go Good, your campaign slogan came.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So when kids need the shoes, you know, when we saw a lot of kids that had taped up shoes, you know, duct tape shoes, sometimes they were embarrassed.
Right.
You know, when they got a new pair of shoes. And that always broke my heart. And it kind of embarrasses the parents too. And it's not a reflection of the parent. I mean, sometimes it's just not, you know, and we're all doing the best we can. Right. And so, so that was really tough for me to see. And then I also saw kids when we'd have like our shoe drive and such, we'd have shoe drives at Spirit Lake Elementary where we just give away shoes. One year we were at Timberlake Junior High and at cross country season and volleyball season, the principal was like, come on, we got shoes for you. And we had all these shoes lined up and kids were trying on shoes and we were giving away shoes. And one gal actually there that I remember particularly, she had nice shoes. But there was a pair of shoes there that had like a size, I don't know, it was big, like 14, crazy number. I don't even know. It was a big, and she had big feet like that. And she said, these shoes fit me. And I said, they do? And she goes, yeah. And I go, well, you better take them home. And she goes, yeah, but they're women's shoes and they fit me. And I was like, yeah, you better take them home. And she's like, yeah, but I don't need them. And she looked down at her shoes. She had men's shoes on. Because men's shoes are the only ones that fit her feet.
Oh, goodness.
And she's like, I better call my mom and ask. And I was like, oh my word, just take them, you know. She calls her mom and asks. It was so beautiful. I loved that. It was so sweet. But to see her light up and try on a pair of women's shoes that fit her feet was amazing. So anyway, so sometimes during the shoes though, when we do shoe drives, sometimes you see a little entitlement. One time kids need shoes or they'd be like, well, I wish I had 2 pair. One time this kid needed shoes so bad. He's like, well, can I have like 3 pairs? Which I get it because he probably needs them really bad. But we want to stay away from that entitlement area. And we want to stay away from that embarrassment area. And so we started with different things like a chance to be good or a chance to be great or a chance to be kind or a chance to be strong. And, you know, we were trying to like offer these kids a chance to do whatever they want to do, you know, that they can do that. And we were trying to like create that. And then one day we were having a meeting with some of my great team members and I was like, it's just got to be shorter. What can we say? Like, go. And he's like, go good. And I thought, that's it. That's it right there. You know, just go good, people. You know, be helpful, not hurtful, you know.
Right. Yeah.
When we're having a difficult decision to make and we're like, what decision do we make? Well, I'm hoping that we can empower all these kids in the schools to go good. You know, they're going to choose to go good. And so we started in Spirit Lake Elementary was our first Go Good recess school.
Okay.
And we call it Go Good Recess because everyone loves recess, right?
Yes.
Go out and play in your favorite shoes. So kids in Spirit Lake, we had over 300 kids turn in how they go good. And I don't know if you follow our Facebook page, but Stephanie, our marketing and web designer, social media guru, she's amazing. She's been posting that. She'll be like,
they're so cute.
She'll acknowledge these kids and show a picture of how they go good. And I love the example they are making. So if you haven't seen it, go to our Facebook page and go to Instagram. You'll see them on there. But it's amazing to see these drawings of these kids on how they go good. And then they write how they go good. And it's simple things that maybe people might not think, but they're special. Like Leah writes, I go good by planting flowers with my mom. And I wish I would have brought them with me to read some of them off. One I remember was they go good by helping my brother when he falls down, or helping my mom with the dishes, or taking care of my dogs, or getting hay. You know, it's this chopping wood with my dad, you know, and then there's a couple in there that you really get a lot of thought and you're like, whoa. And I love that because these kids are being empowered that they go good and recognize, hey, they go good. Right. And then they're valued for that. And so they, at Spirit Lake Elementary, we do that each quarter. And then at the quarter assembly, when they do their value traits, like respectful, responsible, safe, you know, industrious, things like that, they acknowledge these kids during those characteristic trait assemblies. And so we right now are giving 2 pairs of shoes, boys and girl, to each grade per class. And so we gave out 30 pairs of shoes. We did it for 3rd and 4th quarter this year. And my favorite though was the stories and to see these kids excited. This year, several of the kids that got shoes came in with taped up shoes and holy shoes. And it was awesome to see them happy. We got some great pictures of that. So that was really fun. So that's our Go Good program at the schools. And we're hoping to have a waiting list of schools that we can get to and go in, because obviously our resources is limited. We only have so many volunteers or so many sponsors and so much money we make from the race. But we're super excited about that. And so we're going to carry that over at our Go Good table at the race, where kids can draw or parents can draw or write a story, and they can also nominate. So teachers, parents, kids can nominate other kids and write about how they go good and witness they go good. And then they get a pair of shoes.
But between Go Good and then the running, I think just even good conversation starters and good missions to bring to the children of how are we looking after ourselves? How are we expressing our emotions? How are we treating others? Like, and Go Good, we talked about before, is just such a nice, easy, rolls off the tongue mantra. Like it's in your head, right? You're like, are we going good? Go good. It's just something that's processable for all of us. I love both of them, that you're bringing this conversation and opportunity to look at life in such a positive way to all of these children and families.
Thank you so much. It's truly, I really give credit to Heavenly Father above. He's just inspired this. I'll never forget the day the name Running Shoes for Kids came in my mind. I was just in my house walking up the stairs and it just popped to my mind. And I was having babies when Running Shoes for Kids was growing. They were just little, and I know I couldn't have done it without some great angels that he sent me, and so many amazing volunteers and so many great ideas. And I really give credit to them. So much of that has evolved and made this what it is today, and teachers and our board members, and just, it's pretty amazing. And one of the teachers that principal at the time, Spirit Lake Elementary, Christy, she is one of the most amazing persons, and she loved the Go Good idea. And she also thought how great it would be to really send that message home with these kids when they're not with their teachers all day long and their peers, and not someone to remind them what good choices to make. And like you were saying, that whole just having that Go Good. And that's what I told the kids, before the end of the year is, remember, when you're at a hard choice, just say, hey, what am I going to do? And just go good.
Yeah.
Just, is this good? If it's good, do it. If it's not, well, then run. Don't do
right.
it.
Well, and even the strength from like knowing that they can, like from running, you know, you can do it. You know, you can put one foot in front of the other. You know, you can make good decisions. Like what feels good, right? They play together so well. You brought up a good point. So if people, like, obviously they can come and enjoy the event, but what if people want to help beyond July 23rd, beyond actual event day, volunteers, giving, what opportunities are there?
Oh my goodness, there's so much. We have grown so much this year. So you can go to our website and sign up to be a volunteer. Mm-hmm. Running Shoes for Kids is not just a one-time-a-year event where we just do our race in July. It's all year long. And we'll start again in the school season heavily. We're going to try to get some buckets around, like at Two-Wheeler Dealer, and which is an amazing sponsor of ours, by the way. I love her, Brenda. She used to be one of our coaches in the very beginning.
Nice.
We're going to try to get it at the new, used to be Tri-State, but that new one, get some shoes up there. So you can always donate shoes. We could donate money. We could donate time. That's always, it seems, that is the most rare that people don't have that anymore. Time. People are so busy, and so many things are on our plate. So when we have a lot of hands, it makes it for easy work to be done. And so, and also it's not just me that can share this mission. It takes all of us, you know. We could get together as teams and come and run our event, and, you know, get your team together, get your family together, you know, all throughout the year. If you've got a school or a donation or a charity that you know that needs shoes, then tell us, reach out to us. If you have an idea of how we can help this, empower this team or this club that they're going good, they're making a difference. I want to honor them and acknowledge them, because it's through all of us that we all can reach others. But if it's just one person, then no, it's hard.
Right. No, for sure. I love that. So what's the best way for people to reach you? Is it through your website and email?
I would say the website for sure, because you can just click for more information, or click to donate, or click to volunteer, or click whatever. But you can also always email me, and my email is runningshoesforkids@gmail.com. Okay. That's a great way. And it's the number 4. So we try to keep it.
The website's the same, right? That's runningshoesforkids.com. Yeah. Number 4.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
The number 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
What else am I forgetting to ask you? Anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap it up?
I don't know. I think you covered so much. We might have some classic cars there too.
Ooh,
we had a friend, same story, say, oh, you should get some classic cars there. And I was like, you know, volunteers are hard to come by. And I said, how about you do it? And she goes, no. And I said, oh. And so then very same day on Facebook, I saw a post in Spirit Lake saying, let's have a classic car show. And so I messaged them, and they're putting on a classic car show. So we'll see. We also are, we're competing with Hayden Days. So they have a car show there, and they have Hayden Days. You know, there's always something on every weekend. So, you know, we try to find the best weekend. It's either Ironman, it's Father's Day, it's Hayden Days, it's Raffle Days. So people are so busy, and it's so fun. So we don't want to take away from anybody's amazing stuff that they do. So we don't know how many cars are going to be there, but we have several friends that are going to bring their cars, and it's just going to be a fun time. Just great energy, a time to bring your family, relax, eat some good food, listen to some good music, you know, maybe get your PR, you know, do your personal best at a running, maybe take some shoes home. We also were going to have a cash raffle. So we put 50-50 of our vendor money goes back to a cash raffle. Okay. So we have a cash raffle for anyone to win. The vendors, runners, kids, parents, teachers, anyone can buy a raffle ticket and go home with some cash at the event. So that was super fun. Nice. Probably the thing that I don't even know if you and I talked about that just popped to my mind. One thing that we want to do different with Running Shoes for Kids too, and that we really want to grow with, is we are offering like internships for kids, right? And so, you know, I remember my first job, right? We don't have a resume when we start our first job. So and then when we do have one job, then what? That's our resume, one job, right? It's kind of defeating, you know, it's kind of discouraging. You're like, how do we get that one job? Right.
Right.
And so we're starting kind of like an internship, if you will, with Running Shoes for Kids, where volunteers, kids can come and volunteer. So this year we've got a young lady that's going to be taking pictures. Nice. And she's going to add that to her portfolio. So we're super excited about that. We also have another professional company that's coming to take pictures as well. Wake Media. I think they might have another name for their company, but it's escaping me right now. But anyway, so we're going to have that. Have a young lady taking pictures. I've got kids that I used to coach in charge of the Kids Zone. So that's super fun. She was in kindergarten back in the day when I coached her, and she's now a sophomore, junior in high school. And so she's in charge of that with some parent help and volunteer help. And then we've got some other kids that I used to run with in cross country back in the day and run our races. They're coordinating the race coordinating part. So they're going to be assistant directors to my race director. Nice. So, you know, if there's anything fun that kids want to be involved in, we will have a spot for them. And I love it. It could be all year long. We'd love that, to just open up job opportunities for kids. Say they can put it on their resume. We're volunteer for Running Shoes for Kids, who's a nonprofit 501c3, a legitimate incorporated business. So we're super excited about empowering these kids and helping them go, again, realizing that they're good. Yeah. You know, that they made a difference, you know? Yeah. And they're special and that people value them. And if everyone at our event can walk away feeling loved and valued, that's what we want. Yes, I'm sure you are absolutely making people feel that way. And it seems like you're just open to what this is going to bring, who is brought to you to support and help and be creative and ideas. Like, it feels like it's just become this beautiful thing from people just planting seeds and getting creative. And yes. Why not? Let's bring more community and bring more ideas and people together towards that's your mission of Go Good and giving kids healthy, meaningful, purposeful lives. It's awesome. Yes, it's so fun. It just really, I love it. My kids love it. I'm so grateful to be part of this journey and making a difference in our community. Really, I love it. Grateful. Yeah. You're awesome. Well, I always like to end with just a final question. Who are a couple of people in our community that inspire you to live more vibrantly, as I like to say? Oh, there's so many. The list is so long. Well, there's so many. Gosh, I should have probably prepared this, so I had a little notes. There's so many. One of my favorite persons that inspired me, and I actually just mentioned her, Brenda from Two Wheeler Dealer. Yeah. She was one of my volunteer coaches back in the day at the very, very beginning. And she was just always so positive, always had such great energy. She always had a good word to give, always had a kind word to share. And it seemed one of the hardest days of mine. She didn't even know. And she stopped by and she gave me this cute little thing and I have it hanging in my car. And it said, like, gosh, it's like, be kind, or just something about kindness, or just something that just really lifted me up, you know? Yeah. And she's amazing. She's a mom and she's amazing in the business world, her community. She gives so much back. Definitely, she's amazing. Of course, all my volunteers, Christy, she was the kids principal for so long. She's just inspired me so much. And silly things like, the other day I was talking to a friend at O'Malley's that works at O'Malley's, and she's struggling through some difficult things. And her energy, even though she's going through that, was so positive. And people that are going through the thick of it, that choose to go good anyways, they inspire me. So that's that whole list that I'm not naming right now. You know, and my mom, of course, she gets to hear all of the, the tears, the cries, the happy. Yes. So she actually inspired me. She said, why don't you let everyone run every race? Because it used to be age-based. Like we would do quarter mile, 3 to 6, so on, so on, so on. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, why don't we? So she inspired me to open that to everybody. So So yeah. And you inspire me for sure. I watch your podcast and listen to those gals on the owners of the wellness bar, and they inspired me because I was struggling that day, and listening to all what's on their plate and that they're managing it, and they're managing it well. And it's so impressive to see amazing women out there making a difference and uplifting people. I think that's great.
Sure. And right in our community, right? I think that's, like you said before, we're all so busy, and time is just precious. It feels like more than ever before. And it's like taking the time that you're building this epic community, right? The wellness bar ladies have this epic community, and just sharing stories and realizing that life isn't easy. It wasn't ever meant to be easy, but if you've got like positivity and a community, and it can be fun, and you can, right? Just
life is good, right?
Right, exactly.
It is what we make it.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Well, Colene, this has been so fun. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm excited to hear what happens on the 23rd too. Everyone come out, sign up for the events, and get their personal bests.